I mentioned before that I was a huge skeptic, like the biggest skeptic in the world. And obviously something changed my mind. And I'm guessing that the things that I was originally thinking about coaching are probably going through your head too, because let's be honest, they're like legit concerns, right? So I want to go over those 6 things with you today. The first one is I didn't want to sell to my family and friends. We all have those people on social media that, like, anytime you say anything, they're like, oh, you should try this. Or, like, anytime you look on Facebook, they're like posting their links to their websites and they're like, sale, do this, do that. So icky, right? And I mean, they kind of remind me of like the people at the kiosks at the mall where they're always trying to get you to buy something and they're like running up to you full force, like trying to put lotion on your hands and stuff, telling you how beautiful you are, which you are, but come on. I mean, just like totally nagging you, and nobody wants to do that, especially to their family and friends, right? And I just thought, not doing it. So what made me change my mind about that is I realized that you don't have to be that way to be a successful coach. In all honesty, every person that I know of that is a successful coach, I've never seen them posting things like that on social media because it's just icky and gross. What they do is they show people that they're being a product of the product. They talk about what's working for them. They give healthy advice and tips. They talk about other things like their families, their extracurricular activities. I mean, anything. It's not about selling. It's about getting people, like-minded individuals, into your circle and making something better for them in their lives. And I know that sounds kind of scary because it's like, well, how do I do that? Well, we have like a lot of training that you can go through, and you can find everything you ever need to learn about how to really connect with people. And I mean, it works because there are people in our coaching team that are making 6-figure, 7-figure incomes, and they all will tell you the same thing. They never feel like they've ever sold anything to anyone. They provide solutions to problems that people are having, and they help them get through it. So good news, right? Number 2 is I don't know anybody who's interested in health and fitness, or I don't have that many friends, or I live in a small town. Those are all things, I mean, that I was legitimately concerned about because I'm an Army wife and we move around a lot, and I'm kind of shy, believe it or not. When it comes to meeting people, I'm very hesitant and quiet, and so I thought, there's no way that I'm ever going to get people to, you know, to come in with me and to let me coach them. And by the time I do get people, we're going to be moving, you know? And so I was really worried about that. I didn't have a Facebook, I didn't have an Instagram, didn't have a Pinterest account, like anything. So I was like, how do I reach out to people? And so what I ended up finding was that, first of all, that I learned how to reach out to people through social media, which definitely helps the situation of me moving all the time. And it's not as scary as it seems. And there are always going to be people out there that are looking to be living more healthy, fulfilling lives. Okay, I mean, Beachbody offers something that other people just don't have, and that's that you can get physically and financially fit and feel good all around, have the freedom to do the things that you always wanted to do, and have the energy and the stamina and the feel-goodness, for lack of a better term, to do it. So even if you think nobody in your family is going to be into it right now, they might be, you don't know, because they've never really been introduced to the opportunity, right? So don't worry about it. And if you need help growing social media, we have like tons of training on that too. And you can be a rock star even if you're living in a town with like 53 people whose favorite restaurant is Burger King. I promise. Number 3 is a big one, and it wasn't really one of my concerns, but it's a lot of people have it on their mind, is that they can't do this working a full-time job or going to school full-time or, you know, being a mom, and that's just gonna take a lot of time. And I would have thought that too, but it turns out the first couple years that I was coaching, I only spent about 8 hours a week on my business. And the reason I was able to do that was because we have the system called the Power Hour, and we teach you how to do everything you need to do every day to grow a 6-figure income in an hour, through social media if you want, or through talking to people, whatever you want to do. So it really is pretty simple. And if you are thinking, I don't got an hour, well, I want you to think about all the times that you're scrolling through Facebook on your phone, or looking through Instagram pictures, or pinning, you know, healthy recipes or workout moves or not healthy recipes or anything else. All that time you could be using, instead of mindlessly scrolling, to build and grow your business and to help people, instead of, you know, I mean, you're really even helping yourself, you know, when you're pretty much wasting time on your phone. So those 10 minutes there, these 15 minutes there, the time you're waiting in line at the doctor's office or the grocery store with your kids or anything, you can be growing your business. You can do it from anywhere. So it doesn't even have to be a full sit-down hour. Number 4 is not wanting to drink Shakeology. I was the hugest skeptic when it came to Shakeology. I was just like, no way. I don't do protein powders. I don't do supplements. I can get everything I need through Whole Foods from the food that I'm eating. I don't do that. You know, I mean, I was like one of those snooty people. And for the longest time, I was like, no way. I'm not doing it. And a lot of my friends were talking about it, and they're like, no, this is good stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe for you, but not for me, right? So when I first picked up a bag of Shakeology, I just looked at it for the ingredients so that I could prove people wrong, honestly. And when I found the ingredients, I was like, oh, it's kind of good stuff, and it's not really what most people consider, like, it's not really just protein powder, and it's kind of like a really good place to get lots of vegetables and fruits, because that's all that's in it. And there's no preservatives, no additives, no artificial flavors, no soy, no junk. I mean, it's free of junk. It's just like this bag of superfoods at your door. Here you go, under $4 a day for a coach. So that kind of debunked myself. And believe me, I really, really wanted to talk about how awful it was, and it just didn't happen. Now I've been drinking it every day for 3.5 years, every single day, because it's that good. But you don't have to drink it to be a successful coach. I mean, there are people out there that don't drink Shakeology and they're still successful coaches. But I will tell you, I mean, for your own health and for your own results and for your own story, you should at least try it, because I think you'd be surprised. I was surprised. Number 5 is that people think you have to be at your goal weight and know everything about health and fitness to be a good coach. This is like the biggest one that I'm just like, no way, Jose. We talked about it in one of my previous videos, that the people that have the best success, it seems to me, with their coaching businesses are the ones that are still on their journeys. And I mean, watching people actively lose weight and actively start feeling better and actively being able to do these things like running 5Ks and joining like Tough Mudders and things like that you never thought they would do, that is inspiring. And that's what people want to see, is the active like you changing your life for the better. I wish that I would have started when I was still losing weight. I mean, it's still, obviously, I've been able to be successful starting afterwards, but it's like, why wait when you could be inspiring people now? You know? I mean, you have to kind of think about like taking yourself out of the equation here and realizing that your story could help hundreds of other people feel good about themselves and start to live their happier lives and feel like they can be there for their kids. You know? I mean, that's kind of like, you got to just go for it. Number 6, this is one that I struggled with even after I became a coach. I talked about how I was a coach for like 3 years and didn't do anything with it. And it was that Beachbody was a pyramid scheme. Now, I'll be honest, like, I'm not really even sure what a pyramid scheme is, but it certainly looked like one. I mean, if you're going to be building your team and you put like one here and one there and another here, that's a pyramid, right? So I didn't like it. It made me feel kind of icky, and I didn't really understand it. But first of all, like, I did some research. First of all, pyramid schemes are illegal. Like, you can't do them. You will be arrested. So that's not true. I know a lot of other business models seem to follow that way, but Beachbody is unique in that somebody that is way down the line, you know, like hundreds of people down from me, can be making, and probably is, making more money than I am up here. And then there's people, I mean, they're everywhere. It's a web. It's not a pyramid. And anybody can succeed, and it doesn't depend on who sponsored you or who sponsored your sponsor or any of that. You are your own entity. You build your own team, and your teams will build their own teams. And you'll probably have people that are underneath you that are more successful than you are, and you'll probably be more successful than a lot of people that are above you. That's the way it works. And so when I realized that, then that's when I finally was just like, okay, I feel a little better, you know? Okay, so that's it. Those are my 6 biggest things that I was worried about when I first signed up as a coach, and what I found when I jumped in. And, you know, I gotta say, this has been an amazing opportunity, and it's provided more validation, clarity, feeling like I belong to something bigger than myself, than anything else that I've ever experienced. And I've done a lot of stuff. So I hope that helped answer some of your questions and concerns about coaching. Bye.